Hello and welcome back to our Aserai and camel focused playthrough. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to sell our prisoners because we actually gained a huge amount of them in the previous episode, and as you can see we can actually sell them for 8,800. I was blown away, by the way, by this absolute enormous amount of cash, and we're still only getting 3 roguery. Very sad, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to go into the tournament here just to get a small boost of renown, and then we're going to head off once again into Southern Empire territory, because no doubt there are going to be a couple of vassals there that we can fight and we can hopefully win against. And that's going to be a really, really big deal because, and here's the thing, obviously there are more than just the minor faction vassals. We don't only have to fight them, we can actually fight proper vassals as well, and they're probably going to be really annoyed at me saying proper vassals, because let's face it, they are technically proper vassals, but, you know, it's a little bit different when they are indeed just from a minor faction, because they're not going to be as powerful, and their units are not going to be as strong, so it's going to be a lot easier to eliminate them in the long run. So that's the reason why I say proper vassals, you know. You get it, don't you? Yes, I'm sure you get it. Anyway, we've already eliminated one member of the red team, which is actually pretty decent. Maybe if I can do some more damage to the green team, that would be preferable for us. Wow, that was actually some pretty decent damage, if I do say so myself. He's already dead. And, this is our wife. That is hilarious. She's actually a beast in combat, but thankfully I have Kareth on my side, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have an easier time here than we think. Or maybe not, because as you can see, this guy is literally just going around in circles. Just can we get him though? Can we get him? Yes, there you go. Kareth actually coming in with a massive hit with his polearm, and as you can see, our wife is attempting to murder us with a thrown weapon. Yes, that is not very nice. Well, to be fair, I did actually attack her first in this round, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense, you know, that she's trying to kill us, but there you go. It is just a tournament after all, but there you go. We did manage to achieve victory, which is very nice. Unfortunately, however, we are now through to the next round against Kareth, which is obviously not something that you ever want to have happen, because he's a fantastic individual. I've always found that he's been a really, really good vassal in the past. Very loyal fellow as well, and I'm kind of hoping, I was really hoping on a couple more, bits of luck there. Oh no, never mind. Okay, apparently he's not even bothering to defend. Alright, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so we've got Awa here. Let's see what we can do against her. Hopefully we're going to be fine. Come on now. She's obviously really good. I don't know how much better she is in comparison to Kareth. I think they have relatively similar stats in regards to combat. Oh, wow. Oh wow. Okay, we only did only 23 damage with a headshot, no less. She can technically murder us very, very easily here. If I can just... Hey, there we go. I'm just trying to beat her with attack speed at the moment, but it's very difficult to do that unless she goes for an overhead. Oh, there we go. Okay, we actually did do it. That was a little bit touch and go, but we were able to achieve victory, and there's the renown that we wanted. Of course, we are getting some weapons as well, and here's the thing. Obviously, if you saw the previous episode, you know that we were having some problems with our caravans, and so what we're going to do is we're going to hire another one. We're going to get another one. So Undgar, he's going to go ahead and just do whatever he can do with his new caravan, and hopefully, just hopefully, they're going to stay away from Southern Empire territory. Anyway, here we go. We've got 5%. Okay. Okay. What is actually going on with this? What is actually going on with this? Because look at this. 5% melee damage by cavalry troops in our formation, and 5% damage with one-handed weapons while mounted. I mean, I think that's obviously fine if you have a relatively decent weapon for your one-handed proficiency, but I do not. So I'm probably going to go for Shield Bearer here, even though it doesn't really do much. You know what? I'm just going to go for Cavalry because that's what we're mostly going to be using. And it just doesn't make any sense to take the other thing because I'm not actually using a shield right now. But we are having a bunch of our other companions rejoin our party. As I said before, we obviously needed to get them back. And we're just going to get some people from here too. There we go. Let me see. Oh, escort merchant caravan. Oh, you know what? I really want to do this. Yeah, I actually really quite badly want to do this. Not for no particular reason other than the fact that we are literally going to be fighting so many really good troops, or at least they should be relatively good troops, and we will be able to level up our roguery skill quite fast. At least that's the hope. And one thing we could potentially do is I could get my civilian gear a little bit more well outfitted than what it currently is, because my civilian gear is basically how it was at the very start, maybe with some minor upgrades here and there. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, yeah, you know what, maybe we do actually want to go for something like that. Oh yeah, so by the way, someone said that what I should do is I should take my horse archers and tell them to follow me, because if I do this and tell them to follow me and then go around in a circle a little bit slower than what they might do normally, then maybe they're going to be a little more accurate. So let's actually try that out. Let's see whether they actually do start killing some enemies. Oh, it does. Actually, you know what? It does seem like that is maybe the case. I mean, look at that. They're actually being a little more effective now. I'm not entirely sure what actually causes that. What actually causes that issue? That is so strange, because I've literally, you know, obviously been playing Bannerlord for years now, and it's gone through a lot of different changes over those years. You know, I mean, obviously it's been in early access. It's come out of early access. They're still updating it with, you know, various changes and you know, crashes, bug fixes, so on and so forth. And well, from my perspective, not much has changed with the horse archers. Obviously, in the most recent patch notes, they do have a rather stark change to the lower tier horse archers. So if you don't have over 100 riding skill, you're gonna suffer some pretty heavy accuracy penalties. And that's the main reason why I was looking at my camels and my camel riders and seeing what kind of skills they had. And they've got fine skills, you know, their riding skill is actually really good, and I don't even need to worry about that. So I was very perplexed, you know, as you might expect. And so, you know, that was a little bit intriguing, a little bit interesting there. Anyway, now that, oh no, are you serious, Hasid? Oh, what are you doing, sir? He has literally just gotten himself taken prisoner again. I am 100% certain he's going to get himself taken prisoner again. I can sell these bolts for 14,000. What? 14? I mean, I thought 1,400, not 14,000. 1,400. That's actually pretty crazy in itself. All right, so we're just going to do this. Is there a Pugio here, actually? Oh, yeah, someone actually recommended a particular weapon. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, now I'm forgetting what it is. Maybe I'm gonna remember it if I see it, but there is something very specific that someone recommended in the comments, and I was like, whoa, okay, that may be something that I need to look out for, you know? I think it's probably going to be in Vlandin territory. Anyway, I'm just going to sell that, and then we're just going to, oh, there's another escort merchant caravan mission. Isn't that, they're like buses. They're like buses. Do you know that saying? You know that saying? When you're waiting for a bus and then two come along at the same time, you know, it's that sort of thing. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening to me right now. But, well, we don't need to worry too much. Actually, you know what? I am going to sell these prisoners, though. And it's going to get me another point in roguery. Kind of hoping we'll be able to do a little bit more with roguery skill. Yeah, as you can see, he did get himself taken prisoner. So that was 10,000 that was just utterly wasted. And I'm very saddened by that. Very saddened by that. Okay, so wait a minute. Where's the caravan? Are you serious right now? I followed the wrong caravan. Oh. Well, never mind. I guess we can go in here, fight these guys without too many problems. I mean, the main reason why I wanted to actually fight these fellows is to be able to take them prisoner and get roguery skill. That was literally the only reason why I wanted to do that quest. Not really the cash. Oh, and look at this. Do you see this guy? Do you see this guy right here? He's literally murdering all of my caravans right now. You know what? I kind of feel like I should, you know, execute this guy. But here's the thing with this. This is the reason why some of the time I'm not entirely sure what the developers are thinking or doing with the goal of some of their settings, some of their changes, and some of their decision making. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna take him prisoner, and we're just gonna. I'll need you to lead a party, rejoin the others, and let's be off. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But here's the thing. This is the thing I'm confused about. Why is it that minor factions, when you execute them, why are they immune to elimination by war of attrition? And I'm that's the thing. Usually I'm really bad at explaining things in this game specifically, but okay, here's the thing, yeah? Think about it this way. I'm going to sell him back because there's no point in me executing him, even though I really wanted to. You know, he basically just wasted 20,000 of my gold. So I'm not a big fan of him right now. But yeah, anyway, the point is, if you execute every single one, I'm actually just going to show you on the encyclopedia here because it's going to be a lot easier for me to demonstrate this. So for example, if you execute, let's say that you execute Chandion, Arenakos, and Sotheris. Let's say you execute all of them at the same time, but Emeris is completely fine and is somewhere else, right? This makes no difference whatsoever to the overall clan itself, because what's going to happen is it's going to get repopulated automatically, instantly, out of nowhere. I'm not sure if they've changed this, by the way, but as far as I remember and know about minor factions, they cannot be eliminated through this strategy. So if, for example, if I were to execute this guy, that wouldn't make any difference because he would be replaced by someone else in due time. The only way you can eliminate a minor faction, from my experience, is taking every single one of them prisoner and then executing them without moving on the world map. If you move on the world map for more than in a couple of moments, then they're going to repopulate. And that's it. Yeah. So hopefully that's explained it, and that's the reason why I thought to myself, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So the funny thing is, though, if it was a little bit of a different, if it was a different situation, and I, and I executed him, and I went through and did the deed, as it were, then I would. Well, I think that would be really fun, actually, and it would provide us with additional flavor for the series, and it would basically be like, yeah, look at what we just did here. Now these fellows hate us, and it's just a lot more exciting, I guess you could kind of call it. However, as it is right now, I just cannot. I cannot do that because it makes no difference. If, however, I were to, let's say, execute this guy, he would be out of it. He would be out of the game. There would be nothing that he could do. If I would execute every single one of this fellow's clan members, then even one after the other, that would work. That's completely fine. That is no problem whatsoever. They're not going to automatically, resupply themselves out of nowhere like magic. They're not going to do that. Whereas the minor factions do. I think that's a bit sad. I think it would be really cool if it was done slightly differently. I'm going to auto-delegate here because I don't really want to, lead my horse archers right now because I'm actually not a horse archer myself. And it's, it's not a waste really, but it is making me not really able to do as much damage as I'd like. And I do have a lot of fun actually attempting to kill enemies, even though they are actually avoiding most of my damage right now, which is really sad. I mean, you can see that right here. I mean, like, that is hilarious. Anyway, yeah, Manavleon right here, they are, yep. Benevolent, just a fantastic weapon, as I said. I do need to try and find that weapon that was mentioned in the comments, though. Don't worry, I have seen it. I have seen your comment and your recommendation, and I am excited, because I don't think I've ever used the weapon you suggested ever before. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm eager. I'm eager to get my hands on something like that, because that's going to be a lot of fun to try out something I haven't tried before. And there's actually a lot of different opportunity to do that kind of thing as well. For example, taking over a town's alleyways. They've actually changed that rather significantly as well in the previous updates and so on. And I actually feel like that might be a pretty cool thing to do too, because as far as I'm aware, if you take over the alleyways and the various other, background areas, you're actually going to get the opportunity to earn a percentage of the prosperity of the town every single day, as far as I'm aware at least. Oh, am I going to die? Maybe not. No, maybe not. I think I should be absolutely fine. Yeah, so that sounds super fun to me as well. So I'm kind of thinking, hey, you know what? We've got some roguery skill. I might as well try to do something like that. I'm not sure if it's going to give us roguery skill. It probably won't, let's face it. But yeah, I would love it. I would love it if we could actually do that. I'm going to be taking a look and seeing if I can figure out some different ways to level up roguery skill. Because as I said in a previous episode, there was a very effective way of doing it, but they apparently changed it so that we weren't allowed to do that anymore, which is somewhat sad. I don't think it's available anymore, at least, because someone told me that it had been fixed. And yeah, that's a bit disappointing. However, that doesn't mean that we can't do it through other methods, hopefully. But what's really funny about that method as well, by the way, the one where you sell weapons or sell high quality goods to a caravan and then you attack the caravan, that method, you could actually do that on console too. And I personally feel like that's amazing. I think that's super good, because obviously not everyone is going to be playing the game on PC, where you can modify things to your liking. And look at that. Look at that. Wow, we literally took very little casualties. And as you can see, yeah, Camel Archer... Oh no, never mind. My Camel Archers actually got some decent kills. Look at that. They got 26 kills, and my Lancers actually got 29 kills, which I'm very pleased about. 25 influence is also our reward for this. And yeah, once again, I'm just literally going to be letting people go. We're going to be gaining some charm skill as a result of it. I guess that's okay. I mean, I'm not best pleased, to be honest, but yeah, also this new thing that they've done here with the with the prisoners is grinding my gears every single time I have to take prisoners. It used to be that you would be able to take high tier troops just by clicking this button. It would just take all the high tier troops automatically, or it would sort it automatically by tier when you first get into the prisoner taking screen. But now that's not the case. Now that is not what happens. Anyway, ooh, we got a noble mount. Oh, we got 2 noble mounts, and we got a bunch of other stuff too. All right, so let's actually just equip myself with some stuff. Let's get Zemina a couple of extra things as well. And let's actually see here. All right, so we have a legendary narrow sword. I'm thinking to myself right now that I would like to use something maybe a little bit quicker, maybe with a little bit more reach. I'm not sure if we can actually do that. Simple scimitar. I'm not entirely sure what's best, to be honest, when fighting in the alleyways, because on the one hand, reach is actually really useful, because you can stay out of the range of your opponent and you can hit them when they can't hit you. Whereas if you have higher speed, obviously it's going to be a lot easier to beat them in, sort of 1 versus 1s, but I'm obviously going to be 1 versus many in those situations. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what to go for there, but someone did actually suggest a very good idea. Get some throwing knives. Get some throwing knives. So thank you for that, because I will definitely be attempting to get some throwing knives as well. I think that's definitely going to make a pretty big difference. Now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to head back to Zionica here. You see how much money I'm going to make right now. Obviously we kind of needed that, because I've just, as I said to you, I just literally wasted so much thanks to that guy immediately attacking my my caravans. I just cannot believe that he was so incredibly vicious that he decided to go straight in against us, against our caravans no less, with only 10 or 20 troops. You saw how many he had when we caught him. He only had 6. So he must have had at least, I don't know, 15, 20, maybe around that number when he initially attacked our forces. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I have no idea. How does one, you know, how does one think to themselves, yes, I will attack my mortal nemesis and his caravans? Because apparently he just absolutely loathes us so badly that he just wanted to eliminate those caravans. I'm not entirely sure. But, you know, that's the thing. I really, I had, you know, I had plans for him, you know. I really wanted to execute him, but it just makes no sense. That's the problem, you know. It just makes no sense to do that kind of thing, which is funny because, yeah, me dying is also funny. But anyway, the point is, that's what's also really weird when you actually go into open warfare and you're not a mercenary and you're getting a little bit deeper into the game. You know, getting from mid game into late game, and you're attempting to eliminate a faction or you're attempting to capture fiefs over and over again. The only thing that is actually going to help you in the long run is either just taking every single person prisoner and putting them into a prisoner tower in a town somewhere. Obviously, they're going to probably escape at some point. They're pretty good at that. Or a slightly more final option would be executing them. And from my experience, executing them has basically been the only way that you can really make huge progress without either keeping them prisoner, like I said, or persuading that particular vassal to join your faction and then just hoping that they don't, you know, run away afterwards. Because that can also happen. So, you know, there's any number of things that can go wrong with the other two options, but executing people is a very final thing, and it doesn't really, as far as I can see at least, doesn't really, well, give you that many downsides. I mean, yeah, sure, people don't like you very much. Okay, well, that's it. That's really all it's going to do, which is quite funny to me, because I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, they don't really like me anyway because I'm their enemy, you know what I mean? Most of the time, you know, if you're capturing absolutely every single fief that they have, it's more than likely that they're not very pleased with your actions. So, you know, that kind of thing does happen. Anyway, this is actually fantastic for me. Decreases range damage taken. So that's pretty cool. The words are in a slightly different order than what I would go for, but there you go. That's what we're going to go for right now. And otherwise, we're actually just going to capture absolutely every single bit of loot here. Yes, capture the loot. Capture the loot. That's what we want. And then we're just going to do this. Everyone can just equip whatever they want to equip. I'm going to equip some stuff too, and we're just going to equip our companions with some pretty decent stuff. So obviously these guys, they're going to attempt to take Poros. I'm not that big a fan of participating in sieges as a mercenary. I think that is not very lucrative. I'm going to sell this for some more roguery skill. I actually did level up, which is quite surprising. I guess I will get some more charm skill. Eventually charm skill is going to be quite useful to us if I can get it to this. Oh, they've actually changed this perk. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Right, so that's actually really funny because I apparently I missed that. Apparently I missed that change. But basically, it used to be it would give you I think the previous iteration of this was it would give you 1 influence for every 5 charm skill past 200? Am I remembering that correctly? Well, it doesn't matter either way. All that means is that you would be getting a load of charm skill, not charm skill, a load of influence every single day. If it actually worked appropriately, which it didn't. It was actually bugged, so it didn't actually give you as much as it should have. Because it should have given you, you know, however much that is. I'm not going to do the math right now because that's just not me, okay? That's just not me. I'm going to get it wrong. Anyway, meaningful favors is what we're going to take here. This is, in my opinion, the best thing because plus 10% chance for double persuasion success. I like that quite a bit. Anyway, the flat value of +5 influence per day. How effective is that actually? If we think about it, how effective is this actually going to be? For me personally, I feel like a reward for getting a particular perk to 275. I think this should give you a lot more. But I think the main problem that the developers might have run into here, as we go for Thunderous Charge, this is probably one of the best perks that we can get, considering we have mostly, mostly mounted troops. But yeah, anyway, I think they've run into a problem. The daily system. I know. You may think, what? Why does that matter? Why does that matter? The daily system doesn't matter at all. Actually, I think it might matter more than you think, because here's the thing. When your wages are calculated, which is obviously every single day, when your influence is calculated, your, whatever else, your renown, if you have trade skill perks and so on and so forth to give you renown every single time, like for example this, look at that, +1 daily renown for every profiting caravan. I think that this is a great perk. Absolutely fantastic perk, mind you. Because let's face it, if you have 5 caravans running every single day, you're going to gain 5 passive renown daily, which is fantastic. I love that perk. I think this is a great perk. However, I think the problem arises when they give you this at the very end of your 275 trade skill, well, not trade skill, skill level journey, and it just doesn't seem as fantastic. I mean, they've left this the same way. So 1% loot amount plus 1% loot amount for every skill point above 200. This is fantastic. This is an amazing perk. Really, really good. And then you go over to the charm skill tree and you get +5 influence per day. It just doesn't, it's not the same thing, you know what I mean? It doesn't actually give you the same kind of feeling. What's this? +1% damage for each engineering skill point over 250 for siege engines. Okay, so that's 25% additional damage. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. I would like to see this be something different in comparison. I'd love to see it be crafting speed, or I don't know, just something different. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, all I'm saying is that kind of thing is not that useful. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I think that by that point in the game, and I'm talking about, when you get to 275 charm skill, I think you have a lot of influence by that point. I think, yeah, sure, you can definitely... Oh, wow, he's actually declaring war against the Northern Empire as well? That's hilarious. Okay. He's going in. He's going all in, isn't he? This is crazy. Okay, wait a minute. What I actually want to do right here is I actually want to trade with this fellow, because I actually want to try this out. I want to test this out, okay? So what we're going to do is... Oh, he's actually got 8,100 gold. That's crazy. So we're just going to literally do this, right? We're going to do this. I'm not going to sell any of my other stuff, because this is actually relatively good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give him all of my armor, get all of his gold, and then we're going to say hand over your goods, all right? So obviously this is not actually what you're supposed to do in the actual method of leveling up your roguery skill. You're supposed to give them high-value things, massive amounts of high-value things, so much so that, if you give them, I don't know, 20 really high-value weapons or something that are worth, I don't know, what, 10,000 each, 20,000 each or something like that, then you take them back. That's ideally what you want to do. I'm just testing this out, by the way, just to see if it actually does do anything, because obviously if it does, then we're obviously fantastic. If it doesn't, then, well, that's absolutely fine. And, I just want to see whether it actually does do something, because I always want to test this kind of thing out myself, just in case, something is still kind of working for me. Maybe, maybe it's gonna be all right, but I highly doubt it. Okay, I highly doubt it. I really do think that this will not work. But as I say, we're not really doing this with very high value gear. But look at how much damage I'm dealing now. It's absolutely insane, because we've just gotten the guard skill. The guard skill is allowing me to do 50% extra damage with headshots when using a polearm, which obviously when you're using a weapon like this, it is maybe not that useful, not as useful as you might anticipate, because let's face it, I'm not going to be getting that many headshots, or at least I thought I wouldn't be getting that many headshots, but apparently every single hit is a headshot for some reason. Don't know how that's happening, but yeah, I'm getting super, super lucky with that. But yeah, usually what you want to do is use this with like a slightly more thrust prevalent polearm, or with a glaive. Really, really long glaive on horseback is going to get headshots almost all the time if you're even somewhat a little bit accurate. But the way it is right now, not so much. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so we got 8.4 renown, 17 influence. 17 influence for a caravan? Really? That's actually crazy. Anyway, look at that. We actually leveled up our roguery skill by 4. That's really shocking. I'm very surprised. That's much better than I anticipated, actually. So I'm not that disappointed by that, actually, surprisingly enough. Okay, well, as you can see, they actually have a bunch of things that we could potentially use here. So, oh wow, okay, no one wants those. Well, I don't want those, but apparently my my party do, so that's great. And then there you go. Okay, so we actually did gain 4 roguery. I'm not sure if that is a base for a caravan of that size. I'm gonna have to test that out. So we're just gonna go back into Xionica real fast, because obviously I want to try to, well, I want to sell my prisoners first of all, but I also want to sell some of my loot. So we're just going to sell this loot right here. We're going to gain 8,000 for it, and we'll sell this as well. There's another 12,000, and we can also sell some of this stuff too. Yeah, I think I might just sell all of it, to be honest. I mean, look at this. We're literally, whoa, wait a minute. This is actually a really nice weapon. Maybe we want to use this. 100 length could be fantastic for us, actually. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Sell the rest. 27,000. That's kind of insane. All right. And there you go. We got 2 roguery points for that. And then we can actually go for something. Ah, yes. Double the amount of betting allowed in tournaments. This technically is a fantastic perk if you're going to continue doing tournaments. Highly recommended to do this if you are, you know, playing like a duelist character or a tournament goer, or in general if you're just going to be doing tournaments almost all the time. However, for me personally right now, I'm thinking that what I would like to do is maybe a 50% increased chance for sneaking into towns. I think we actually do gain roguery skill from sneaking into towns. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, because it's been a long time since I've done that, but I'm going to try that out because maybe it's going to be something useful. Maybe it's going to actually be something that could be a way to level up our roguery if the way that we're testing it out now isn't actually going to work too well for me. Anyway, I'm just going to buy some war mounts here. Yeah, I'm just going to buy all of those because we have a bunch of people that can actually level up as a result. Let's level those up. There we go. I'm running out of war mounts really, really quickly now. I actually do need to go over to the other area once again. And they're going to actually fight over there. That's not so good. Didn't really... Oh, hello. Yes, I want to fight this. Garios, can you please leave me alone, sir? Yeah, I hope he does. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe this caravan is actually getting away from me. Oh, no. That fellow's coming with me. Oh, you absolute imbecile. Okay, well, I can't really do anything about this. I guess I'll just go for an auto-resolve or something. I didn't really want to do that, to be honest. But we gained 2 skill points, actually. 2 skill points in roguery. Okay. Maybe we would have actually gotten a little bit more if I had done this myself. So I'm actually thinking, you know what? Should we just prey upon caravans all the time? Maybe that seems like a good idea. I mean, it is going to make things a little bit more, maybe a little bit more costly for our opponents. And also, I mean, you take a look at how much gold I'm actually making as a result of this too, because obviously we are, you know, mercenaries. And we are, you know, earning quite a lot of influence as a result of this too. Anyway, Tynops is attempting to take Poros. I'm going to assume that they will make peace with the Southern Empire relatively quickly, because they are surely not going to want to fight them that much in comparison to our enemies from the north. because they're obviously going to be they're going to be pretty harsh for them. Let's get these Sturgeon line breakers and these Variag veterans. Thank you very much. And oh, now look at this. This is the kind of thing that I wanted to get from these guys. Look at that. That's absolutely amazing. These are really, really good. Wow, this weapon's actually really good too. Look at the swing speed on this thing. Unfortunately, the length is not so good, but we can use it as a civilian. So this might actually be something we want to use. I mean, look at that. The speed on this thing is absolutely immense. Okay, let's try using it out. Okay, yeah, no, I think that seems pretty good. Let's do that and see what happens with it. Maybe it's going to be cool, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but we've also got some really amazing. Oh, apparently I had a new camel saddle. Apparently, oh, a new camel. A new camel. Look at that. Oh, now that's looking real good. Why am I getting so excited about a new camel? I don't know, but it's a new camel. I didn't think we could actually get one, but we are. And there you go. That's fantastic. All right, so yeah, legendary pointy warsword. We still have that. That's fantastic. Let's let my other forces take whatever they can take. And then we're going to be moving on. But yeah, it seems like maybe raiding caravans seems to make... maybe make quite a bit of sense. I'm actually really pleased about that. But obviously, as I said, we're going to have to test out some additional things and see what else we can actually do to level it up. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.